Hello everyone, welcome back. Whenever you see me pop up on your screen looking like this, completely barefaced, that means that I have a makeup tutorial coming your way. And today I will be taking you step by step through how to achieve this look using a full face of some of the top rated products from Sephora. Right now, as of the date I am uploading this video, the Sephora Holiday Savings Event, aka VIB sale, is going on. If you're watching this video 4 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now, unfortunately, the sale will no longer be going on. But even if you are not watching this video during the Holiday Savings Event / VIB sale time frame, hopefully you will still find it enjoyable and helpful. Before I get into showing you how to achieve that makeup look, I do want to thank Factor for once again sponsoring one of my videos. I am a Factor partner, by the way, and I have been using Factor meal delivery service for more than a year now. Now you might be asking, Risa, why are you putting a Factor partnership into a beauty video? Well, honestly, all I make are beauty videos, and I cannot tell you in the past year since I've been working with Factor how many people have messaged me and said, Risa, I ordered Factor using your promo code and I am loving it. And I'll tell you why so many people are loving it the same way I do. I know a lot of people are struggling to eat properly. A lot of us don't enjoy going to the grocery store. We don't enjoy the prep and the mess of making a meal. And with Factor, all of that anxiety and stress is gone. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals directly to your door. They have keto options, they have calorie smart options, they have vegetarian options. Whatever type of meal you're looking for, you can get through Factor. And these meals are delicious. Not only are they delicious, they only take 2 minutes to prepare. I work from home. Clearly, YouTube is my job, and I never, ever have time to sit there and chop up vegetables or even just go to the grocery store and buy something for lunch. So Factor has been a true savior for me. All I do is take out a meal, puncture a couple of holes into the plastic, then I pop it in the microwave, and 2 minutes later, I have a nutritious, delicious meal. And Factor is extremely flexible. You can always adjust your order size. You can skip a week if you need to or want to. So if you would like to try Factor for yourself, head to go.factor75.com/Risa50 and use the code Risa50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Okay, now it's time to put some makeup on this face. Something I tried to do when making my selections from the top-rated options was pick products that I haven't talked about in a while. Some maybe that I've never talked about, but I own them and use them. However, I'm going to start off with a product that I did sort of recently talk about. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I used this in the video where I asked 3 luxury beauty YouTubers what some of their favorite products were, and my friend Michelle Wong gave me this as her top pick. This is an all-in-one primer and moisturizer, and after using it off and on for several years, I completely get why it is so highly rated and why it was Michelle Wong's top pick. I stayed away from it for the longest time because I have oily skin. And so when it first came out several years ago, I wasn't even the least bit interested because I thought, oh my goodness, it's going to be so heavy on my oily skin. It's going to make me very greasy, extra shiny. And to my surprise, it does not. And please don't pay any attention to my missing fingernails. Probably if I didn't point them out, you'd never notice. But I went to a Halloween party the other night and I had these press-ons on and I lost a couple of them. Not that anyone really cares. Let's get back to the products. So, Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It's great for all skin types. It sinks right in. I feel like my skin is hydrated and sort of plumped up and perfectly ready for makeup. Moving on to foundation, I am using the Givenchy Prism Libre Skin Caring Matte Foundation. This foundation also comes in a radiant version if you don't want a matte, and that one is also highly, highly rated. I have not used this in the longest time, and I don't even remember what I thought of it. I will be doing an end of the day check-in so you can see how all of this makeup looks after 8 or 10 hours. Now I love the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. I love the concealer and the blushes. So why have I not been using this more often? The shade match is good. I wouldn't say it's super highly concentrated, meaning a little bit doesn't go a long way. It's drying pretty quickly. I don't mind it because I'm a fast blender, but if you're not, you may not like how quickly it dries down. I like the coverage. Why do I feel like I have a sparkle right here? So what I was saying is that sometimes with other foundations, this little amount can be spread all over the face, but this is only covering one area. The finish is beautiful. It is what someone with oily skin like me is looking for. Just a nice soft matte, not a flat matte. So I do need a little bit more to cover my nose and forehead. I typically use a very small amount on my forehead, like just a dot there, maybe a dot there. Put a little bit more around my nose. The foundation does have a slight scent to it, but that's no surprise. It's Givenchy. Givenchy is known to have, you know, quite a bit of fragrance in a lot of their products. So if that's not something you like, I know a lot of people are sensitive to fragrance, so just be mindful of that. But wow, this looks really, really good. Why have I been hiding this in my foundation drawer? I don't get it. Oh my goodness, I do have a sparkle, like a little glitter right there. It won't go away. It's not coming off. Foundation's on, it's looking pretty good. And I will have all of the products linked in the description box, of course. For concealer, I am using the Natasha Denona High Glam. This is my favorite of the new concealers. And by new concealers, I mean of the ones that have launched in the past maybe 3 or 4 months, which has been a lot. There have been a lot of concealers launched. And I'm putting a little bit of this over my lid as well. So I'm basically covering the entire area. Oh, I didn't finish my thought when I was talking about linking the products and tagging the products. I will have the shade names in the description box because I don't think with the YouTube shopping, it will take you to the exact shade I used. Well, my links don't always take you to the exact shade, but at least they'll be there for reference. Oh, you probably want to know a little bit about this concealer. Well, I actually have talked about this one in several of my videos. I really liked it from the moment I tried it. It's so creamy, it feels so hydrating, it lasts all day long. I never look in the mirror 6 hours later and think, ugh, my concealer looks horrible. It always looks really, really good whenever I use this concealer. And I completely understand why so many people are raving about it. And now for bronzer slash contour, I'm using a product that is new to me. It is the Merit Bronze Balm. I've been testing this out for a couple of weeks now, and I really, really like how creamy it is. And the color is good too. This is Sen. It's super blendable, and it gives me that perfect bronzy look, and it also contours my face, which is also something I like. I like my cheeks to look more lifted. I like my jawline to look more sharp. And you just keep blending, 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 and I think it looks really, really natural, except for this. And now for powder, we're back to Givenchy. No surprise there. I think I put this in my Holiday Savings Event recommendations video as well. In fact, I know I did because I love this powder. It is pretty much one of the only maybe 2 or 3 higher end loose powders that I ever use or talk about. So I am taking a makeup sponge and I'm setting my concealer with this. And I'm putting a little bit over my lids. I have very oily lids. If you don't, You do not have to powder over your lids. I mean, I do recommend if you're using any sort of concealer to prime your lids or eyeshadow primer to prime your lids, you actually do want to put at least a light layer of powder, maybe just a pressed powder, or maybe just a neutral eyeshadow to set any type of cream product you've placed onto your lid. So I'm also going to take this underneath that bronzer to make it look a little bit more defined, but not harsh. All right, so far so good. Let's do some eyebrows. I am so glad that this Patrick Ta brow pencil was a top-rated product because I love this pencil. This is one of my favorite brow pencils that you can buy at Sephora. And one of the main reasons why I love it so much is because of the shade. I'm using blonde. It is so difficult to find a good blonde brow pencil. And look at how tiny that tip is. But what it doesn't do that a lot of other brow pencils with fine tips do is this one does not break off. For example, the Huda Beauty brow pencil drives me nuts because I love how tiny that tip is, but every time I put any pressure onto the brow, it just breaks off. Because brows take me forever, I'm going to speed through this. Now I'm going to set my brows with this Lawless Hold Up Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax. Again, when it comes to brows, I like tiny applicators, and that's because I have such thin, sparse brows. Tiny little applicators help me to just get the brow hairs that I have, the few brow hairs that I have, without the product ending up here on my forehead. I was about to say this is a really underrated brow product, but it's actually not. It's highly rated, but I hardly ever hear anyone talking about it. Okay, it's time for eyeshadow. As I was scrolling through the top-rated products, the top-rated eyeshadow palettes on the website, I noticed that the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette was on there as a top-rated eyeshadow palette. And I immediately thought, great, I'll use that one. I don't think I've touched my Modern Renaissance palette in years. So when I went to go look for it and couldn't find it, I remembered that I had decluttered it in my last eyeshadow palette declutter from like 3 or 4 months ago. And the only reason why I decluttered it is because it was so old and it was really rough looking. So I may someday buy a new one, or now Sephora has just launched, well, Anastasia Beverly Hills has just launched a mini Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette and a mini sultry palette. But I digress. Let's get to the palette I did choose. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. I have not used this palette in such a long time, so that is why I picked it out of the other top-rated options. For this look, which I have no idea what I'm going to do yet, I'm going to use tape, I know that. Tape just helps guide me to do my eyeshadow evenly on my hooded lids. But because my lids are getting more heavy and hooded by the day, it's getting more difficult to even use the tape. All right, I'm going to start off with the shade Unity mixed with a little Nurture. And I'm going to run that all over my lid pretty much. Inner corner, outer corner, all the way up almost to the brow, and then extending it out towards my temples. Again, combo of Unity and Nurture, building it up on the outer corners, and then taking what's left and running that over the lid. Same thing on the other side. And if you do have hooded eyes like me, I do recommend you doing this with your eyes open and then putting your chin up and looking down to get to the lid. And remember to pull it out towards your temples. That's another thing the tape is good for. not getting on your skin. The eyeshadow won't get on your skin, it's getting onto the tape. Now I want to deepen the crease, and I'm using this number 15 mini from Refer, and I'm going into, let's go into Carpe Diem, and place that on the outer corner, and then run that right through the crease, looking straight ahead into my mirror. I'm not going as high as I took those first two shades. I'm just running that right through the crease, back and forth in a windshield wiper motion, raising my brows up so that I can get under the fold. So just back and forth, raise up the brows. Okay, now it is time to stamp something darker onto the outer corner. For that, I'm using my favorite little Samey 2.5 brush and going into Aspiration, which is a beautiful dark brown. And I'm just stamping that on the outer corners of my eyes. And again, you may want to lift your brows up so you can get under the fold if you have a hood. Now I'm taking that Refer brush again and blending it out. And now I'm just going to use my finger and go into Babies. Let's try Babies. Put that right on the lid. Ooh, so, so pretty. Gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I need to use this palette more. That's so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love it. It is so much easier to apply eyeshadow when you don't have long fingernails, which is why I only use press-ons for like events or special occasions. And I felt like Halloween was a good occasion to wear them. Are you seeing this? Is the camera picking up how gorgeous this shimmer is? I love it. I'm gonna put a little bit of the shade Spontaneous right in the center. Ooh. Love. And I'm also going to put a little bit of that in my tear ducts. And I'm also putting a little bit underneath the arch of my brow. Okay, it's time to peel off the tape very gently. Now, if you don't like a real snatched line, you can always go back with a brush or your finger or a Q-tip and sort of smudge it out, but I like this look. For my eye shape, I like to look really, really lifted. Okay, now lower lash line. I'm gonna take this little brush from Morphe. I'm gonna go into Serenity, which is this kind of shimmering taupey brown, and press that along my lower lash lines. Now I am going to take the Blackest Black shade and just put that along my upper lash lines. And when I say at the lash line, I mean right at the lash line. Okay, my eyes are pretty much done. Now I'm going to curl my lashes, and then I'm going to tightline with this Rare Beauty gel eyeliner. This is one of the only gel eye pencils, or one of the only eye pencils in general, that actually stays when I tightline or line my waterline. Then for mascara, I'm using the Benefit Fan Fest. I'm actually not usually a huge fan of Benefit mascaras, even though a lot of other people seem to be, but I do really like this one. As you can see, it gives a lot of great length and volume. All right, you all know that I love some false lashes, and apparently people who buy lashes at Sephora really love these from Lily Lashes. They are the Faux Mink Brown Blended Lashes. I was very, very surprised to see 5 stars for lashes because I very, very rarely see that. And mine are already cut, so I'm going to show you what they look like in the packaging. This is what they look like not in the packaging and trimmed a little bit. And by brown blended, they mean that the fibers of the lashes, the hair fibers, are a mix of brown and black, so they look even more natural. So I'm gonna pop these on, and then we'll do some lips and cheeks. All right, my lashes are on. Now it's time for some blush. This is another product that I was not surprised at all to find as a top rated. It might have been the only one that had 5 stars, which is why I chose it. And I know that I do talk about this Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush Balm a lot. This also was in my savings event recommendations video because it's just so good. Everyone needs to own one of these. Mine is in the shade Rosé and Brunch. And every time I use this, I wonder why I own any other blushes. I'm just kidding. I love blush. I love all blushes. But this one is just, there's just something about this one. It's so good. It just melts into my skin like butter. It lasts all day long, even on my oily skin. And look at this color. I mean, how amazing is this color? I like to bring it across this area right here. So it gives me a little bit of that kissed by the sun look. Now this is a product I haven't used in a long, long time. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. And a few years ago, the Becca brand was picked up by Smashbox, and they kept just a few of the Becca products, including the Shimmering Skin Perfectors, for good reason, because they are truly one of the nicest highlighters you can find. It's just such a pretty highlighter. All right, for lips, I'm going to try a combo I have not tried before. This is the Patrick Ta Precision Lip Crayon in She's Proud. It's a really good one to contour your lips because it's a shade that's very close to a lot of people's natural lip tone. For lipstick, I'm using the Giorgio Armani Lip Power in 109. This is one of the best long-lasting yet still hydrating bullet type lipsticks. And now I'm going to top it off with a little gloss. This is the Rare Beauty Glossy Balm, and I'm using the shade Hope. There's the completed look taken in natural light by a window using my iPhone. And now I'm going to finish off the look with a top-rated setting spray. This is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Matte Setting Spray. Now I did test this out when it first came out, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. Nothing that has come out as far as setting sprays has made me put down my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Spray, which was in my savings event recommendations video. But we're gonna try it again, and as I said earlier in the video, I am going to do an 8 to 10 hour check-in so that you can see for yourself how this entire look held up. Now I remembered what I didn't like about it. It's very, very wet. Maybe I just got a bad nozzle. Now it's spraying better. No, it's still really, really wet. My face is wet. I don't know, maybe I should go read some of those positive reviews to see why people love it so much. I will say that the wetness goes away very quickly. So I almost forgot to do this check-in. I wanted to do it before the sun went down, but I'm way too late. But now it has been about 10.5 hours since I applied that makeup, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm definitely shiny, but the foundation is still intact. My eyeshadow is still on pretty well. I took off my lashes, and of course my lipstick is gone, but the brows are still on. I still have some blush. We're not going to talk about the hair. I was literally about to go into my bathroom and wash off my face when I realized I had not done the check-in. So I'm glad I caught it. And I'm glad you get to see what it looks like after 10.5 hours. Overall, I can 100% see why these are all top-rated products at Sephora. All right, that brings us to the end of another video. I truly hope you enjoyed seeing a full face of Sephora's top-rated products. As I mentioned earlier, everything will be listed and linked with the shade names down below in the description box. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider doing so. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and you will become a part of the Risa Does Makeup family. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and TikTok. My username is the same everywhere. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.